Chloe Johnson with PCTV Reports, and we're down here at the Red Butte Garden Orangery where they're having a very special show to kick off their season. All the orchids are in bloom and they've come out with a fun theme. So let's go learn a little bit about orchids and all the amazing things that you can come to here at the garden.
The Red Butte Garden Orchid Show. What you'll see are orchids on display that will be judged by the American Orchid Society, but you'll also get a chance to learn about the orchids and make purchases. So I have a little tiny treasure for sale, up to different varieties of gorgeous orchids. And these are much different than the orchids you'll find at your grocery store. These are more special than the Phalaenopsis, although that is one of our showy favorites here.
Every year we have 2 orchid shows. This is the spring orchid show. We also have a fall orchid show. Now this year is basically an exhibition show. So you get to set up your own exhibition and actually have fun with it. Be creative. You can have you know, for instance, the orchid show theme for this year is Orchid Treasures. So you try and come up with something along that line and have fun with it, and that's what some people are doing. You've got a pirate and a treasure chest, and obviously the orchids are the treasure, so it's a lot of fun. People often ask, you know, what makes an orchid an orchid? So when you look at an orchid, what you'll find is there are 3 petals and 3 sepals. So if you look at this, for instance, let's look at this one here. You can see three sepals and 3 petals. And quite often one of the petals is specialized. That's what this lip is. This is actually another petal. It's just a specialized petal.
We will have some instruction around plants, flowering plants, plants that you can grow in containers, all different kinds of gardening classes. Classes coming up at Red Butte Garden include landscape basics. We've got growing your own herbs. We've got plants along the Wasatch. We've got perennials. There are so many different classes coming up at Red Butte Garden with our fabulous instructors.
A lot of the orchids you buy in the stores and in shops are typically something that you can grow in your own home. So that's what makes them a little better. You can buy some really exotic orchids too. There's some people that sell some really hard to grow, which tasks you. You know, once you learn this type of orchid that's easy to grow, you can always try something new. But in fact, there's what, 30,000 species in the world? Yes. And we have indigenous orchids right here in the Wasatch. They're under 10 feet of snow. This one's a little harder to grow. They like to dry out between waterings, and what this is an orchid that's pollinated by a moth. This is a vanda. These actually grow high up in a tree. If you'll see on the plant here, the roots are just hanging out of the pot. So that's actually how it grows in nature. But vandas are really well known for just some amazing looking blooms. Look at the detail in that. It's absolutely beautiful. The color really pops on it. I moved here about 13 years ago, and I ran into a guy who I was talking with him. I was actually buying orchids, and he said, "Oh, you should look at joining the Utah Orchid Society." I go, "Really? Pretty good group?" He goes, "Oh yeah, you'll have a lot of fun with them." So I did. I've been in the group for about 13 years now, and having fun. It's a good group of people.
When you come to the garden, you're going to be able to walk the grounds, see what's blooming. Right now in the springtime, we have 450,000 spring bulbs. 230,000 of them are daffodils. So definitely come up, don't let the weather deter you. See what's going on in the garden this weekend.
Come check out all the amazing shows here at Red Butte Garden and attend their fantastic classes so you can get your green thumb going in your own home, as well as stay tuned for a special update on their concert lineup at the amphitheater. This is Chloe Johnson from Red Butte Gardens. We'll be right back in the studio.